When we started by hand in 2017 November, you know that great flood happened in 2018.
Yes.
And in 2018 July, our basement store was flooded with water. We have a loss of near about 20-25 lakhs. What by hand is doing, we know they are unorganized. So we are trying to give them an organized platform. Even though I am not creatively something, I didn't have any talent or something on that. But always I thought this is where my destiny lies. This is what my destiny is. When I was working in India for 8 years, I was in Maharashtra, I was in Gujarat, I was in Calcutta, I was in Rajasthan, Delhi, almost all the states of India. So wherever I go, I see the people. They are doing craft and art and all those stuff. So that the burning desire was there. That was the fuel. And I got the inspiration. So I wanted to know more about that.
Hello and welcome to Turning Point. When a professional, a well-performing professional, decides to move into business, it is not necessary that money is the only objective. There could be something more than that. Today we have with us a professional who moved into business. Let's understand from him, was it only money or was it another passion which has driven him into that line? We have with us Mr. Rajendra Prasad from By Hand. Welcome to Turning Point.
Thank you, sir.
This is obviously when we talk about ethnicity, we talk about going back to our roots. Your business, By Hand, is something which touches on those lines. What is By Hand and what is it?
Actually, By Hand is back to nature. That's the concept. So we have art and craft more than 4,500 years old. Before even the civilization, first known civilization of India, Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. These crafts were existing before that time. So By Hand is doing something to preserve that kind of art and craft of our great nation. So By Hand is all about handmade and ethnic products. Like you said, ethnicity, India's nationalism, our heritage, our culture, our tradition, our art, craft, the lives that touching this craft and art.
So what would be the product ranges and what would be the services that you cover?
Actually, as I said, the products are all handmade and ethnic. Everything is made in India.
So it will include jewelry, bags,
yeah.
what all will be the product line?
Actually, By Hand is a sustainable fashion and lifestyle brand. So there is a requirement not only in the fashion industry, but also in the lifestyle. Everybody's lifestyle has to change. It should be more sustainable than the first lifestyle. So By Hand is giving a guideline. It's not like a guideline, but it's showing a way forward to how to live a life with a sustainable lifestyle. That's what By Hand is doing. So the product range also supporting this lifestyle concept. In that basis, we are more concentrated in the fashion industry because fashion is the second largest contributor to the pollution, right? After oil and gas, fashion industry is because of fast fashion. You know, in China, the rivers are flowing every day in different colors, multicolored. Because all these colors, they are not eco-friendly. They are harsh chemicals are there. This is actually polluting our, not only the water, the soil, the nature, the organisms living there. You know, the cancer, increasing rate of cancer, if you go through that. The European study revealed that more than 65% of the cancer, especially the skin cancer, is caused by the clothing and the costumes and whatever we are applying directly on our skin. Because the skin is having pores and whatever we are applying, example when we are sweating, the colors in the cloth is directly going to the bloodstream and there is no filtration for that. So we are, in our kids also, we are giving this fast fashion synthetically made. They are not biodegradable. They are synthetically made. So By Hand is giving an opportunity not only to change the lifestyle, but also to do something responsible. It is an opportunity to fulfill your social responsibility. That is what By Hand is all about.
So how does it work for you when you are working with our traditional artisans? How is it that you're looking at promoting them?
There are multiple aspects on this, sir. first I done a study of 10 to 15 years in this field. Okay. On the craft and art and the life of artisans and weavers and organic farmers. I stayed with them. I saw their life to very proximity. So from that, what I understand is they are in an unorganized segment, and they are getting exploited by the middlemen. They are not getting what the share they must get. They are not getting it. And the fast fashion brands are copying the age-old motifs of their craft. They are just copying it and doing replica with the digital printing and all. But these people, we all aware of the copyright and all those stuff, because these people are so poor, they cannot go for that.
They don't even know that there's such a thing exists.
Yeah, they are becoming, they cannot, the people or the corporate or fashion industry, it's very big for them to compete with. So what Byhand is doing, we know they are unorganized. So we are trying to give them an organized platform by providing them fair price, giving them a proper promotional marketplace. Then actually we are giving innovative ideas, because they are traditional craftsmen and artists. They are not aware of the modern changes and contemporary things and all those stuff. So we are complementing the innovative side of the designs and everything. Then also we are trying to give them better raw materials. We guide them where you will get the better raw materials, quality control aspects. And then obviously by doing that, we are creating a platform for them where they can perform their craft. And we will give them a fair price. And at the same time, we will give that to the customer in a fair price, because there is no middleman. So Byhand is actually acting as a bridging platform between the rural Indian artisans and weavers and the urban customers.
So in terms of where the artisans have been exploited, you can remove that particular aspect, improve the quality of life. And obviously the two important aspects there is tradition and innovation, where we are maintaining a tradition as well, but bringing in best practices which can help not just the artisans and obviously the consumers as well. Like you mentioned earlier, there are a lot of health issues in terms of the fashion industry and cosmetics and other industries which are creating in the system, to bring a lifestyle change as well. That's absolutely fantastic. If I can just rewind a bit, what brought you into this line of thought? What was the inspiration, or what was the turning point for you to come into this?
Yeah, actually art, culture, literature, everything was passionate. I was passionate about all this stuff from my childhood. So from the school time, I was fond of our culture, heritage, tradition, craft, art and everything. Even though I am not creatively something, I didn't have any talent or something on that. But always I thought, this is where my destiny lies. This is what my destiny is. I tried to attend the classes like after my pre-degree, like plus 2, I approached for a handloom technology course. But actually that course was in Kerala. There was only 5 seats reserved for that. And out of that, all the seats were reserved for the viewers, children and all. So I didn't get that chance. And actually the interview board was actually discouraging me, because the salary for handloom technology, like if you are going as a supervisor or something, the salary will be very less. And my academic qualification was good, and they were encouraging me to go to some other professional courses and all. So that's not the reason, but the life taken me to the engineering field, and I done my electrical engineering. Then I started working in the oil and gas industry, and I have 23, 24 years experience there. But the desire was there. And it was a goal. I always believe that when you have a burning desire, you have some desire there. So there is God will show you the route. So wherever I go, when I was working in India for 8 years, I was in Maharashtra, I was in Gujarat, I was in Calcutta, I was in Rajasthan, Delhi, almost all the states of India. So wherever I go, I see the people. They are doing craft and art and all those stuff. So that the burning desire was there. That was the fuel. And I got the inspiration. So I wanted to know more about that. Whenever I get a chance, I travel to this kind of places, because all these products are made in geographically indicated regions. So they have the GI tag. So I travel to the places. If I get a chance, I will stay there for a few days and understand their life from a proximity. So that is the inspiration. Then I understand the real culture, heritage, and tradition, a grace of our nation, not lies in the books and all. It is really lies in the rural Indian places where these products
Like
are
what
made.
Mahatma Gandhi has said.
Yes.
India lives in the villages.
Yes. Because all these products are made in the rural Indian remote village.
So what's the response from your customers? What brings them? Is it only about they understand their responsibility in terms of supporting sustainable fabrics, sustainable technology, as well as supporting the artisans? Or is it from the style statement? What is it that brings you?
It's all mixed, sir. The aspect is, what I understand is, by hand is for the people who want to break the pattern, not for the people who follow the pattern. The people, they want to a stereotype lifestyle or they want to follow the pattern. They will go to the fast fashion stores and all. People don't want to make a change, not only in their appearance, but also in the society and environment at all. So it is for them. So you, before, as you said, yes, when the costume gives you confidence. Actually, in handmade, there is a saying, it is imperfection gives the character. In fast fashion, it is digitally printed and all those stuff, or it is power loom manufacturing. So it is a perfect piece of cloth. There is no imperfection. You can see everything is perfect. But in handmade is not perfect. It is imperfection. That imperfections gives the character, because in perfection, there is no character. So when we can say that we can give a character. We help you to create a character for your apparel, or it will give an attitude. So the look will be different.
How do you see by hand going forward? 5 years from now, what are you envisioning for by hand?
Yeah, the vision is very clear, sir. Vision and mission is very clear. By hand, as the name says, it is everything handmade and ethnic. Then it is a serving hand. Always by hand want to be a national brand. It's not regionalized. It is not like a brand from Kerala or something. It is an Indian brand. Indian sustainable ethnic fashion and lifestyle brand. So the plan is to spread the message across India, pan-India basis, and also abroad, because this the glory of our culture, heritage, and tradition must reach to the global this thing. So we are planning to put more branches. Then we are now developing a franchisee model for the people, but with the criteria that whoever want to invest in this franchisee model, they must be not looking at the business perspective, but importantly, they should give the social and environmental aspect too. So that is what the criteria is. So we are going forward with that. We are getting a lot of inquiries for franchises, and from India, from inside India and outside India, we are getting a lot of.
That's very good. So when you made this transition from being a professional who's traveled the world, when you had this passion, which you built it into a business, what are the challenges you faced in terms of to get this up and running? Obviously, you put in a lot of effort in terms of going, visiting the villages, the artisans. Your philosophy is very clear in terms of what you want to do. So what were the challenges you faced in terms of get this up and running?
Actually, challenges, I believe challenges are the learning
Stepping stone.
stepping stones, and I believe the losers will give up when they fail. And the one who want to succeed, they will walk from failure to failure till they succeed. So I believe in that. So challenges were there from the beginning. When I started building a business, it's actually not a business. Actually, it is a socially committed enterprise, or what I can say, it's like a non-profitable organization. So when I was structuring the business aspect of this, I was more into the craft and I was studying about the
social implications
side
of what you're doing.
No, but the challenges mainly was I am not from this field. That was one challenge. I overcome the challenge by doing learning, because lifetime learning Will learning is growth, right? So I done more than 10, 15 years study on this to overcome my ignorance. The knowledge is the light. So I gathered the knowledge, acquired the knowledge by visiting these places, talking to these artisans, and they are wonderful. They never hide anything. They were very sincere, dedicated people. Anybody go and ask them, they don't have any secret. They will reveal everything. So I learned from them. I try to, whenever I get time, I have a long flights, so I always keep some books or something like with me. I will learn that. So that challenge I overcome. Then second is, I am not from a business. I didn't have any business background. I am a first generation entrepreneur. So that was another challenge I faced in the beginning, because business is not just like everybody can do and get successful. So business has its own terms of challenges and everything. So that also now in business, either you make money or you will learn. I'm a person, I learned a lot of things. So every day we are making improvement. At the same time we are facing, when we started by hand in 2017 November, you know that great flood happened in 2018. Yes. And in 2018 July, our basement store was flooded with water. We have a loss of near about 20-25 lakhs. Everything. 2 lakhs paper bags ruined then in that flood. Then we have lost a lot of clothes and ready-mades and saris and all expensive saris. So we lose it and we faced it. My team, people calling, I was in Nigeria and they called me in the morning, because they came to know when they came in the morning, when they opened, they saw water is everywhere. So they were literally crying. So, but I told, some people lost their life. They lost everything. We didn't lose everything. We still have a chance to come back. So that was there. Then the next year, 2019 also, we were facing the challenge from flood, and 2020 we were challenging from Corona. So mid of the Corona in 2020 December, we done a facelift. We changed the shop entirely. The interior was entirely changed. And that was a message that we never give up.
We are going to work on this. This negative situation, we are going to make use of it.
Yes.
And project that. That's absolutely fantastic.
And our customers have given tremendous support. Because we are retaining customers since from the beginning, still our customers are with us. Without them, because I am into retaining the customers than making new customers. New customers always welcome. But at the same time, I believe when you make your most difficult customer laughing, or they are happy with you, then that is the success I am seeing from that perspective. So we gone through a lot of challenges. Another challenge was, when I started by hand, I was in Nigeria. And I was working in a rotation. I was in the oil and gas segment. And the time changes 4.5 years. Nigeria have the same time of UK. So I come from the job, then I follow for the things. Because the concept is mine, the dream is mine, everything is mine. The people managing, they only follow what I said. And sitting in Nigeria, because of my connection in the craft and the people, the craftsmen, the artisans and weavers given me tremendous support. Without visiting their places, when I select, they give me products. I can proudly say 99.99% of the products what you see in my store sourced by myself. Fantastic. So that was actually, in the beginning, I see is at a challenge. When time goes, when your dream, when your passion is strong, no challenge is there.
Nothing will stop you.
I was laughing on the challenges. I was always, sometimes I went to the bathroom and I used to cry in the beginning. Then I understand these challenges what make you stronger and stronger. And what I'm saying is, failure is the stepping stone. You walk from failure. That is how we start walking. We fail, we fall, then we stand up, and then again, till when we are running now, right? Actually, in life, in business, everything is like that.
How was the support from your family?
Honestly saying, my family was not that supportive in the beginning, because as I said before, I was from a very rural area of Kerala, Chenitala. It's a village near Alappuzha district in Mavelikara Taluk. So I came from an ordinary family, and I was the first person who entered into business. Second thing, I was working in Nigeria, and I was having, I can say I was having a dream job. Actually, I was working with the largest oil company in the world, ExxonMobil. My salary, if I can say this with confidence that I can return now and sit in the home and enjoy my rest of my life like a retirement life. I have that savings with me. So my family was saying, if you are fed up with your job, resign and come and live here. But when I entered into the business, they were thinking this person is from a village and he doesn't know the business and he don't know Kochi. I was a new person in Kochi when I started the business. So they thought, and I am investing a lot of money, but I am not there. So the family was not supportive at all. My mother, my parents, my wife, they were not supporting. But after a few years, they understand this person, he never give up. And
How's
this
the
person-
response now?
They are very supportive now.
Very good.
They were very, very supportive now. They are praying for my success, not my success, praying for the venture success, initiative success. Yeah.
Viewers, you have seen here today what a passion, how it can lead to your success. Try till you succeed. You've heard the challenges which was faced, but 15 years of effort in terms of chasing that passion. It is not just a passion to make money. Money is not the consideration here. The consideration is much more. Like he said, if we can be independently socially responsible, it can make a change to our society as well. Mr. Rajendra Prasad, thank you so much for coming into Turning Point. Wishing you all the very best, and I'm sure you'll be succeeding.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.